Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hi everybody, my name is Ibrahim Baabad. Today I will talk about my experience of summer training, which was in the last summer, that is summer 2015, which was at the company called Saudi Industrial Service Company, SISCO company. As you can see here from this slide, the presentation outline will be, first I will talk about some introduction of this experience. Then I will move to say historical background of the company and some products or services that the company provide to the community. The third section is to the training environment. I will talk about in this section the work environment and regulations and standards of the training environment, and finally the training timeline. I will show the training timeline, which was for 10 weeks. The fourth section is the assigned tasks that I have been assigned by the company. So I have two types. The first is the main task, which is I will talk about I will explain the main tasks for the problem definition, the literature review and data collection, the work plan and implementation, and finally I will show the impact analysis and evaluation of the main task. And for the same, there is a small other tasks. I will show it and explain some of them. Finally, I will conclude with some conclusion and recommendation for this experience. So the mission statement, my mission statement for the training activity, I am in my training at SISCO company to see and try the real working environment, also to observe what I have learned in my faculty and develop my soft skills. So, in particular, I want to focus on the hardware side, the networking side, rather than the software, the programming, and that thing. So this slide shows the expected training learning outcomes that I expect to see in my experience at SISCO company, which are applying the engineering principles in the work field. Also working in teams and trying the real working environment, observe and enhance what I have learned in my faculty, using and learn the modern tools in the computer engineering field, also using engineering techniques for solving problems, and finally develop my software communication skills. So the second part of my presentation was about the company. First I will talk about the historical background of this company. So Saudi Industrial Service Company, SISCO, was established by a group of well-known Saudi businessmen in 1988. So we can say that it is 27 years old, this company. SISCO is a holding company that manage small other companies, which are 6 companies. You can see here the first one is the Red Sea Gateway Terminal company that established in 2007. Another is the Saudi Trade and Export Development Company, in Arabic we call it TSDID. In 1999 it was established. The third company is the Tensy Water Service Company. Was established in 2001. The International Water Distribution Company, Tawziya, that was established in 2005. Also the Support Service Operation Company called SNAT, that was established in 2005. And finally the SISCO elecjabak company that established in 2006. This slide show us the organizational structure of SISCO company. You can see it from this figure. Here I will talk about the service that the SISCO company provides to community. So as I said, the SISCO is a holding company which is managed under six other companies. So for the first company is RSGT company. The service is the cargo service and container handling in Jeddah Islamic Port here in Jeddah. The second is the Tasdeeq company. It's was established to operate the re-export zone at Jeddah Islamic Port. The Tensy company is aimed to disseminate water mainly to Jeddah Islamic Port and also the industrial cities like in Jeddah or Qassim and Riyadh. The Tawsil company, the service of this company is to operate and execute water distribution networks to industrial cities, as I said, in Jeddah or Qassim and Riyadh. The fifth company is the SNAP company that providing service, logistics service to other industry or factory. And the last one is the SISCO elecjabek company that provides the full logistics for chemical and petrochemical industry. So the customer, I will talk as a sample for Tawsil company. The customer is the industrial cities. So you can say that one customer of SISCO company is the industrial cities. For the IT division that I have been working at in my experience in summer, the IT division provides the technical support to SISCO and all other companies. Also, you can say that the IT division is related to engineering, computer engineering, through two major parts of computer engineering, which is the hardware and software. Hardware like networking and other things, and the software like programming. We can say also that the IT department services. Here I mentioned some of the services of the IT department. So like the IT division provide technical support service, computer networking, programming and application development for concentrated companies and brands. Also, it provides the internet and email services to our companies. Also, the protection systems and computer virus protection. And finally, also the IT division provides web development and design to all companies. The third section of my report of my experience in training, in summer training, was the work environment. As I said, the SISCO is a holding company that manages other six companies, but the SISCO itself has 7 departments, internal departments. One of them is the business development, the other is admin and shareholders affairs, that all are responsible for making good development and investigation for SISCO company. Other departments are the finance departments, legal departments, and the internal audit department, which are all responsible for following the incomes and outgoings money. Also, the sixth department is the training department that is responsible for offering training to employees. And finally, the second one is the IT division that provides, as I said, the technical support service to the company. In this slide, I will mention some regulations and standards that was in the SISCO company. First, the attendance is as important. for more than 30 minutes. Also, if the student wants to be late or absent, he should tell the advisor before. And last regulation was the students wearing should be neat and polite. So these are some of the regulations that I have made or seen in the SISCO company. Here, this figure, which shows the training timeline that is distributed among 10 weeks. Here we see the 5 weeks. And here the remaining until the 10th weeks. Okay, here is the fourth section, the important one, which is the tasks that I have assigned in the SISCO company. As I said, there is main task and small other tasks. The main task was at Tensä, one of the companies of SISCO, which is Tensä's water service. The problem is the Tensä employees need software to manage their sales at the company. So the objective of this task is to develop and modify the existing custom-made Tensä sales system. So there is one first version which was released in 2007. We want to develop it and produce a new one in this year, 2015. The customer needs, as we have collected with the IT team there, while the system should be fast in response, also have good appearance, and the system should not contain the cash category that was in the old version. And the project requirements, you have taken it from the customer needs. So as a designer, we need to reduce the number of program instructions, also to design a new background, and to disable the cache category as we said in the new old version. The potential customer in this project is the Tensä employees, which were 10 employees in 2 stations. Here I will mention some literature review and data collection of this project. So at Jeddah Islamic Board, there is for Tensä company, there is a filling station that has, there are 16 loading arms, as we see from this figure, that fills the trucks with water, with desalination water. There is 2 types of 2 sales methods. There is a manual coupon and an electronic coupon. The manual coupon is it is a small book that contains 50 coupons, and electronic coupon is like an electronic card, like a credit card or something like that. Also, there are 2 types of payments. The customer can use one of them. So the first one is the prepaid payment. So in this system, the customer paid the money before he takes the water, and another one is the credit payment. So the customer can take water before he pays, and there is an agreement between the Tensä company and this customer for the payment in times and like monthly or quarter or something like this in the year. Here also, for the system which was we developed, which is the Tensä sales system, there was a first version that we released in 2007. Here we see the general shape of the outline. This one was written in Visual Basic 6 by Mr. Perry, our guy in the SISCO team at division. The new one, which we are working in, is this one, which is the general shape of the system. Which will release in 2015, while Mr. Zakir Hussain. This version is written in C# language in about 5,000 line of code. In this slide, I will mention the work done in the implementation phase of this project. As you can see, here is the Gantt chart of the Gantt system. You can see there here for requirement study and analysis, we need 15 days and 2 months and a half for development, and last month is for implementation and testing phase. For implementation, we host this program in Windows 2008 server, and we use Google Chrome browser to test it from the terminals of users. And the platform that we use to develop this program is the Microsoft Visual Studio 2002. Here in this slide, I show the two tables that show the impact analysis and evaluation. So for impacts, we have two types, positive impacts and negative impacts. The positive impacts, all of them was from different participants in this project. So the positive impact, one of the positive impacts that from SISCO, that SISCO saves 2,000 reals because they developed this software internally in the company, not externally. Another positive impact from Tensy is that this company uses modern tools in their system. And for IT division, the positive impact was the team in that division has developed their skills. And for users of this system, they will have more convenience in working. On the other side, the negative impacts of this solution at SISCO, there will be less communications between SISCO and other companies. And another negative impact is for among users. They said we need more guide sessions to learn the new version of this program. Here in this table, I showed the evaluation. So there is some success points of this solution and another component in other hands. So managers says that it is used from anywhere through internet browser. So this is a success point of this solution. Also, it has a nice appearance. The user says that this is good at speed, and the IT team said that the number of code lines it has is less than the previous version. So this is some success points of this solution. On the other hand, the managers says that there is a comment for the format of the printing report is not okay, and the users said that there is a mismatch in data. And finally, the IT division team says that there is some delay in response. So this comment IT team should take aware about it and develop new versions rather than this one to avoid all of it. This was the main tasks of my experience at some training. There also was another task, small task. Here I show some of them, like install some programs in computers, configure access points, and arrange extender devices. Also, I have been format some PCs. Also, we have installed some rack-mounted servers. As you see here, this is some examples from Dell rack-mounted server. Also, I learned how to add a network printer. and connect PC with other components through ports. Also, how to install Windows 8.1 in some PCs. And here, as we see in the lecture, there is a motherboard, installed motherboard. So I have learned how to change some components like RAM in that motherboard. And finally, made some PowerPoint presentations to develop my soft skills. Here, this is the last section of my report, which was the conclusion discussion. I will tell you what I have learned. First, I have learned many technical skills. Another, also, I have learned some topics theoretically. And finally, I have been noticed some skills that I need to develop in my life. So first, I will talk about the technical skills. Here is some of them. Like I have learned how to communicate with other employees, how to write weekly notes, and search on the internet for some topics. Also, how to control PCs remotely via TeamViewer software, and how to add network with the network printer. Also, example is how to connect PC with other components. Also, how to supply fiber optic cables. As we see here in this figure, this is a machine for splicing fiber optic cables. Also, I have learned how to make connections to Ethernet cables with wall connectors. So we see here, this is the wall connector, so this is the twisted pair cables. I learned how to connect this cable with the connectors in wall. Also, I have seen the network infrastructure in building space. And finally, I have learned how to buy computers components from the local market. Here, what I have learned theoretically, here is many topics. Like I have learned what is the data center, firewall, the email security, the rack mount servers. Here we see the network data store, which is the NAS, like multiple hard disks. Also have learned other things like what is the EDU government, the radio frequency identification, RFID technology, and other things. Finally, this is my personal skills that I should develop it. Learn the programming skills, driving car, assemble a motherboard, try to assemble a motherboard of a PC, and try to free reading on the internet. So inshallah, I will try to develop these skills in my life. Here I will compare what I have expected to see in my experience with the reality, so that I can say I have seen or have achieved 4 outcomes out of the 6, which is I have seen and tried the real working environment. Also, I have observed what I have learned in my faculty, some topics that I have learned in my faculty. Third is I have used some engineering techniques to solve problems, like the heuristic method that has 5 stages. And finally, I have achieved how to learn how to make relationships with other co-workers among the company. Here I will give some recommendations to enhance the future training in this company, the SISCO company. I recommend that the company should commit to the training timetable, so they should be commitment means to finish all the topics that they put in the timeline table. Also, another recommendation is the company should make special time slots to train the students so they should make some special time slots for students to train them not in their main time, working time for the grades. And here there are some recommendations to enhance the future training of KU, Canton students. I recommend that our faculty should send the students to the companies that can train the students in their engineering majors. So, for example, our major is the computer engineering. So the faculty should send the students to big companies that develop software or hardware in computer, like Microsoft or something like that, just to implement the reality of computer engineering. And here is the final